Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the YouTube channel Cody's Footy World, and welcome back to another NRL TV video. Hope you guys are doing very well. My name is Cody. Hope you guys are doing very well on this lovely Tuesday afternoon, just after 4:30 p.m. on the 12th of August, 2025. Here we are for my round 24 tips of the 2025 season. Last week, I was up on the Gold Coast, and we managed to finally get a win. Managed to win 20 20 points at 18. Alrighty, guys. Sorry about that little disruption. Something just happened, just off screen there, but everything's all good. Anyways, welcome back to the channel. Last week in round 23, managed to get 6 out of 8 tips correct. Amazing stuff. Round 23 was great to watch as well, and especially when I was up on the Gold Coast, where we won 20 points to 18, finally snapping that 9-game losing streak, and we're off the bottom. But we are in round 24, and we are in for the second round of Indigenous round. Indigenous round is spread across 2 rounds this time for this year. Don't know what will happen going forward, but we'll see what happens. But anyways, guys, before we get into the tips, if you guys are new around here, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here, and don't forget to click that notification bell whenever a video gets posted or when I go live. And we are less than 25 subscribers away from reaching 2,000 subscribers. Hopefully we can get there by the end of the NRL season, which ends in a few short weeks. Anyways, guys, with that out of the way, let's get into the round 24 tips. And our first game kicking off on Thursday night from 7:50 p.m. at CommBank Stadium. We have the second incarnation of the grand final rematch, going to be a blockbuster game. We have the Penrith Panthers against the Melbourne Storm. Now, last Thursday, Melbourne coming off a victory over the Broncos, winning 22 points to 2. And as for Penrith, smashing the Newcastle Knights up there at McDonald Jones, winning 48 points to 12. These two had met back in March in round 3, and Melbourne won by 6 points to beat the Panthers and get their revenge. But the Panthers are on a different level. They have won 9 in a row now. And Melbourne, well, they are up there, but they've been mediocre for the last few weeks. Anyways, let's go through the team list for both teams. Ivan Cleary has gone with the same 17 that beat the Knights last week. Skipper Isaiah Yeo remains sidelined with shoulder injury. For the Melbourne, Ryan Paffenhouse has been sidelined by concussion, so Nick Meaney slides into fullback, and Murray and Seve comes into the sense for his first game since round 4. The forward pack remains unchanged. Nelson Salamona has been listed in reserves as he looks to reclaim a spot after playing his Queensland Cup last week. This game's going to be the game of the round, in my opinion. Now, Paffenhouse has been out for Melbourne's big blow, and Isaiah still remains out with us shoulder injury, but 2 quality sides. This game's not going to be like back what happened in round 3. And for this game, I reckon Penrith are going to win this one. Penrith are going to continue their winning streak, go 10 in a row. Winning streaks will come to an end eventually, but Penrith, I see Penrith. I see Penrith continuing that winning streak and cementing themselves in the top 4 officially. But Penrith to win this one by 6. Scoreline, we're going to go 24-18. First try scorer comes from Melbourne. Nick Meaney goes over first. Anytime try scorers, Brian Toto and Xavier Coates. Penrith to win 1-12. Now we move into our second game first of our 2 Friday games, I should say. Sorry, kicking off at 6 p.m. here on the eastern seaboard, 8 p.m. across the ditch. We have the New Zealand Warriors against the St George Illawarra Dragons. Now, last week, Dragons coming out with an impressive win over the Sharks, winning 22-14, snapping that 10-game losing streak against the Sharks. They have not won since 2019 against them, or 2020 rather. And how good for to see them finally beat the Sharks. And as for the Warriors, They've lost 3 in a row now, losing to the Bulldogs 32 points to 14 at Accor Stadium last Saturday night. Now let's go through the team list for both teams. For the Warriors, Tadare Martin's solo with a concussion, so Boy gets recalled. Wayne Egan is back on deck after overcoming a shoulder injury. Kurt Capewell will miss the game. Lakia Salamina moves into the starting side after in the back row, and Eddie Mariner to Ava joins the bench for his second career game. And as for the Dragons, Matt one center returns in Matt Figay, and Moses Suli is out with a knee injury. While last week's debutant Hayden Butchnin remains his spot. Michael Molo returns from an ankle injury on the bench alongside Loco Pacifica Tonga in his first game since round 18. Christian Tupolot is in the reserves after returning from a hamstring injury in New South Wales Cup last week. Now, these two had met not long ago. Warriors just getting a win over the Dragons, 15 points to 14. But this is gonna be the other way around this time. I reckon Dragons get this one, and Warriors go 4 in a row. Just with the amount of injuries the Warriors have got at the moment, I think they won't finish in the top 4 now. They're currently in 5th, and I think they might fall a bit further after this game. So I'll go Dragons to win this game. Dragons to win by 8. Scoreline of 24-16. First try scorer comes from the Warriors through Tane Tuapiki, and anytime try scorers, we will go. Let's go Tyrell Sloan, and for Warriors, we'll also go Jackson Ford to score. So Dragons to win in this one, 1-12. Now we move into another blockbuster game, the main event of our Friday night games. From the first of 3 games at Allianz this week as well, from 8 p.m. kickoff at Allianz Stadium, we have the Sydney Roosters against the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Last Saturday for both teams, Bulldogs winning in the rain finally, 32 points to 14 under core. And as for the Roosters, they smashed the Dolphins at Suncorp Stadium, 64 points to 12. And these two had met back at the early stages of the year, and the Bulldogs came back to win. I believe the score was 24-20. And Roosters are looking to cement a top 8 spot. The Dolphins are in front of them at the moment, and the Dogs are to remain in the top 4. So big stakes in this game. Let's go through the team list for both teams. Sue Wong will miss the game due to concussion, so Victor Radley joins the starting side at lock, and Nafua White goes to prop. Egan Butcher moves from the bench to the starting side, and Blake Steep joins the bet interchange. With the Dogs, they stick with the same 17 job done against the Warriors. Connor Tracy's been named in the reserves as he looks to return from abdominal injury, sidelining for 2 games. This is going to be another tough game to pick. On one hand, the Roosters are looking to make the finals, and the Dogs, while they haven't been as consistent as they were at the start of the year, they've still been winning. Oh, this one's going to be tough. But you know what? I'm going to go to Bulldogs in this one. I reckon Dogs will go 2-0 against the Roosters. So we'll go to Bulldogs to win by 4. We'll go a scoreline of 20-16. First try scorer, we will go Matt Burton. Anytime try scorers, we can go Angus Crichton. And we'll also go Jacob Preston as well. So Bulldogs to win in this one, 1-12. Now we move to our first of 3 Super Saturday fixtures. The first one from Sharks Stadium, kicking off at 3 p.m. We have the Cronulla Sharks against the Gold Coast Titans. Last week, the Sharks lost to the Dragons 22 points to 14. Their 10-game winning streak against them came to an end. As for the Titans, well, Titans lost to my boys 20 points to 18 up at Seabus on Sunday. And it was a cracking contest, but they just fell a bit short. And the losing streak continues for the Titans against the Rabbitohs. Let's go through the team list for both teams. So Jesse Ramian is out. So Horade comes to the centres, while Billy Burns comes in for the suspension. Britton Nirakora, who won't play until the finals. 2 new faces on the bench for the Sharks are with Jesse Collin back from suspension and Daniel Atkinson returning after he was 8 man last week. And then for the Titans, huge boost with skipper Tino Falasumalawi to return after 3 games with a knee injury, while Philip Sami and Mokui Folowaka are also back on deck. Khalees Haas and Regan Campbell-Gillard moved to the bench, while Brian Kelly has entered the concussion protocols. This is not going to be a good game to watch. Sharks to win in this one, 1-12. We'll go to Sharks to win by 10. Scoreline 24-14. First try scorer, we will go Ronaldo Mulitalo. And anytime try scorers, we will go Sana Katoa. And for Titans, we will go Jaden Campbell to score. So Sharks to win, 1-12. Now we move to our second game on Saturday. We have the Battle of Brisbane for the second time this year and sixth time overall since the Dolphins come to the comp. We have the Brisbane Broncos against the Dolphins. Now the Broncos, after blowing out the Rabbitohs 2 weeks ago, they come off a loss against the Storm, losing 22 points to 2. And the worst thing about it, they lost Ezra Mam and Adam Reynolds and Selwyn Cobbo to quite a few hamstring injuries there. So they're going to be out for quite a while. And their halves pairing looking here, it's not the best, but they can only have what they have at the moment. And as for the Dolphins, they were blown out 64-12. The first time they've conceded 60 points in their short history to the Roosters. 64-12 they lost. Let's go to the team list for both teams. So Ben Hunt and Billy Walters form the new halves combination. Corey Pax is the new starting hook, and Tyson Smeavy joins the bench. Josiah Karapani comes onto the wing for Selwyn Cobbo, who suffered a hamstring injury against the Storm as well. And for the Dolphins, Francis Molo has been suspended, so Mark Nichols starts at prop, and Kenny Bromwich joins the bench for his first game since round 8. Jake Averillo has been named at centre, with Tavita Nafua on the wing after they slotted into those positions last week, combined well on the left edge. Wouldn't say combined well, considering they were blown out of the park. Now, Dolphins are remaining in the top 8 at the moment, and they're looking to win this one. And for the Broncos, well, they're just there to make the top 8 and get a home final. Top 4 is out of their reach now. I don't see them trying to make the 4, considering that Penrith are already there. This is going to be a tough pick. I mean, most people would say you go with the Broncos because at least the Dolphins weren't blown out. But here's the thing. You have a hooker in Billy Walters, who I think he's rarely played the halves. And Ben Hunt, he's a great half, either 5'8" or 7, but Billy Walters, I don't know about that. This is going to be tough to watch, but I'm going to go to Dolphins in this one. I reckon Dolphins go out and win this one. Dolphins to win 1-12, win by 10 points. We will go 34-24 scoreline. First try scorer comes from the Broncos for Reece Walsh. Anytime try scorers, we'll go Hamarai Tabarai Fido. And we'll also go Jordan Ricky to score for the Broncos. So Dolphins to win this one in a close game, 1-12. Now we move into our our final game of Super Saturday, and the second game of 3 at Allianz Stadium. We have from 7:35, we have my boys, the South Sydney Rabbitohs, against the Parramatta Eels at Allianz Stadium, kicking off at 7:35. Now, on Sunday, the Eels, very controversially, won against the Cowboys. A field goal from Mitchell Moses. There was a controversial call that Moses was hit high or he took a dive. Whichever happens, I'm 50-50 on that decision. But Eels won against the Cowboys 19-18 at CommBank. And as for my boys, we beat the Titans, snapping that 9-game losing streak, extending our winning streak against the Titans, and up at Seabus Super Stadium. We won 20 points to 18. It was finally good to get a win, and on the road as well. And that was the last away trip for the year as well on the plane. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed Seabus. If you guys have not seen the vlog, make sure you guys go check it out once you're done watching this. Anyways, let's go through the team list for both teams, and we'll start with my boys. So Lachlan Harner is ruled out due to a concussion, and Shaq Mitchell comes for his first game of the season as well. So great to see Shaq Mitchell finally back in. And Cody Walker is on the reserves. In number 22, might come in for his first game since round 17, which he suffered a hamstring injury. Do I think he will play this week? It's a 50-50 chance. I won't be surprised if he does play, but I'm just hoping he doesn't get hurt again for the 6th or 7th time. It's been annoying. When, every time Cody Walker's returned, he suffered a hamstring or a calf injury again. But we'll see what happens. And as for the Eels, they've gone with the same 17 that beat the Cowboys. Isaiah Longy has been named in the extended squad as he chases a return from a hand injury suffered in round 20. Now we've played the Eels at Allianz back in 2023 during the Indigenous round. Unfortunately, the Eels did go out and win that one 36 points to 16, and that changed the 2023 season for the rest of that year. But we've been playing the Eels in Indigenous round for the last 3 seasons. We have won 2 out of the last 3, 2 out of the last 3, which is awesome. But for this game, this is going to be another bottom 4 club. Well, Eels are not in the bottom 4 at the moment, but they're just one position above. This should be a good game, honestly. Obviously, Eels haven't had the best record against us. We have won 9 of our last 10 games against them. And their last win was back in 2023, where they won 36-16 at Allianz in Indigenous round as well. But I'm going to back my boys. Hopefully, we can go 2 in a row. And if we win, I reckon we will not get the spoon officially because we've still got another bye coming up in 2 weeks' time. But anyways, Rabbitohs to win by 12. We'll go 26-14 scoreline. First try scorer comes from Para for Josh Adokar. Anytime try scorers will go Latrell Mitchell, and we'll also go AJ to bag a double. AJ only needs 4 more tries to get that all-time try scoring record, 3 more to tie with Kent Irvine. Will he break it this week? Possibly, but I don't think so. But we will have to see. Rabbitohs to win, 1-12. And now we move on to our final 2 games. First one kicking off at 2 p.m. also from Allianz Stadium. Allianz Stadium has got 3 games happening this round. We have the West Tigers taking on the Manly Sea Eagles. Now, last week, Manly went down to Canberra and lost to the Raiders 28 points to 12. And as for the Tigers, coming off their 3rd and final bye, and the week before, coming off with an impressive win over the Bulldogs, 28-14. Well, a monumental upset for the ages, but that was a well-deserved win for the Tigers, and hopefully they can keep holding that momentum going into this game against Manly. Now, these two did play against each other a few weeks ago. I think it was round 17, and Manly won that one 28 points to 10, I think the score was. But let's see how both teams go for this game. For team list now, for the Tigers, Stafford Toa returns after missing the win over the Bulldogs, so Brett Naden drops to the reserves. Taylor May suffered a head knock in that game and has been through concussion protocols through the bye. Alex Twal moves to the back row. Fanua Pole joins the starting side at prop. Charlie Murray is the new face on the bench. And as for Manly, Jake Dvojevic has suffered a concussion. He's replaced by Lock. He's been replaced at lock by Jas Tabunga, while Jake's brother Ben returns from a concussion protocol in the 2nd row, as in Ben Dvojevic. Lehigh Hopewade is also back from a shoulder injury and will line up on the wing with Ruben Garrick into the centres and Tommy Talau on the bench. Excuse me. Caleb Navail comes onto the bench after serving his 18th man last week. This one's going to be an interesting game to watch. I mean, Manly are looking to still trying to make the 8, but if they lose this one, that's them officially done. And Tigers, well, they just don't want to get the bottom 4. I don't think they'll get the spoon now, so that'll be a first for the first time since 2021. But for this one, I will back Manly to win this one. We'll go Manly to win by 4 points, so I reckon it's going to be a close game. 28-24 scoreline. First try scorer comes from the Tigers through Jermaine Buller. Anytime try scorers will go Tom Dvojevic, and we'll also go Gerald Skelton to score. So Manly to win, and this one 1-12. Now we move into our final game of round 24 and Indigenous round as well from Queensland Country Bank Stadium, kicking off at 4 p.m. This is going to be a snooze fest. We have the Cowboys taking on the Newcastle Knights. Now on Sunday, the Cowboys fell 1 point short to the Eels, very controversially, 19 points to 18. And as for Newcastle, they were demolished by the Panthers, 48-12 at home. on Friday night last week. Now let's go for the team list for both teams. So we have Jordan McLean back, left by Cohen has season-ending suspension. Cole Lawton joins the bench after bench serve a 2-game suspension, while Thomas McKaylee returns from a knee injury. Harrison Edwards is the other new face on the bench, with Marley by Ongay, Nicholas Lee Ninaz, and Caden Lars make way. And for the Knights, we have a debutant in Connor Furtado, makes his NRL debut at fullback, with Dane Gagai returning to the centres and Fletcher Hunt dropping out. Excuse me. Tyson Frizzell comes into the starting side at lock, in absence of Phoenix Crossland. A new bench includes the recalled Brodie Jones and New South Wales Cup captain Matt Arthur, who joins the bench for just his second game of the season. Wowee. It's going to be a shit game to watch. Cowboys to win in this one, 1-12. Cowboys to win by 12, 24-12 scoreline. First try scorer, Scott Drinkwater. Anytime try scorers will go John Bateman, and for the Knights will go Dane Gagai to score. So Cowboys to win 1-12. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to wrap up my round 24 tips of the 2025 season. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. We're only less than 25 subscribers away from reaching 2,000. Without you guys, I will not be doing this. I do really appreciate who's recently subscribed and who has been around since the beginning. Has been a fun adventure, and getting the 2K would be a very appreciated. But anyways, guys, I'm getting out of here. Good luck to your teams this week, except for the Eels, of course. And of course, I will be at Allianz Stadium on Saturday night. Watch my boys take on the Eels and hopefully get 2 games in a row, which we have not done since round 10 and 11 and round 1 and 2. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. See you on the next one.